Hey there everyone, and welcome to a preview of the Knight Advanced Skills. I was going to say Archer there. Okay, the first two we're looking at are Sever and Sunder. These are for the Barbarian one, the Barbarian class, Advanced class. And what's interesting here is the damage. The damage is so high compared to the other ones. If you look at the Wizard ones for a second, you've got like 580% on these, and 580% on those. The Archers, you had what's it called, Trap, which did 580% but 2 or 3 hits, so that was quite good. And the other one was Death Arrow, which was like 720%. And so these are much higher. You've got 925% on Sever, which this works like Cleave. We're going to look at it in a second. But 925% on there. This one is 1,550%, and it does a damage over time. That's 3 hits of 155. So it ends up about little over 2,000, which is incredibly good. I mean, I generally consider to do a one-shot in PvP, you need about towards 2,000%, and that's I worked that out by converting everything into percentage, and then when you factor in elemental bonus and that kind of stuff, it all adds up to be a certain overall percent of 20 basic attacks basically. And yes, so reaching 2,000, that is what then is kind of a one-shot. So this is almost really a one-shot without any skill runes on it. That's incredibly good damage, and it's equivalent of MAME really, but like in terms of the damage output. But it's actually an area of effect. A little awkward to hit, but we'll look at that in a second. The mana cost of that is huge, and then the cooldown as well is quite long. Certainly much longer than a skill like MAME. And then on this, you can use this more frequently. But seeing this is like a Cleave, it's like a much slower Cleave. And the 15% move speed buff, that's kind of pointless to be honest, because you've got an animation for it, and so you can't really use that in farming. Where that's really going to help is in PvE, just sort of getting around between enemies slightly faster. It's just a slight help there. So the first skill, Sever, the way it works is, as you can see, it's like a Cleave. You don't need a target, which is quite cool. It hits exactly the same area as a normal Cleave, which means you can just we had the what's it called, Twin Smite proc effect there. But that's kind of just outside the range there. And if we move slightly this way, it's going to hit all of them. And I'll just show with Cleave as well. Yep, Cleave can hit all of them. So it's exactly the same area of effect as Cleave. The only thing is, it actually does less damage because of the elemental bonus on Cleave skill runes. You can get more damage out of that. With skill runes on Sever, you may be able to get higher damage on that. But yeah, the main factor overall is the cooldown's longer, which just means that generally it's like, I would use it as a second Cleave, rather than go with Cleave as your primary one, because you can spam that like anything and do good damage from it. But if you want a second Cleave, then this is a fairly decent one. So Sunder works like MAME. It's exactly the same animation. As you can see, that's the two of them there. But the damage is just huge, and the main thing about it is it's an area of effect. It actually does a slow as well. I completely forgot about that. It does a slight slow on enemies. 30%, it's not much. But very cool. I like this one a lot. This is probably one of my favourites of the advanced skills that have come. So as you can see, that's the area of effect of it, and it's got that slight damage over time. So let's have a look at them in combat. If you're wondering why my 5th skill here is Sparkling Gift, that's because I plan to show the sort of optimum damage output build of a knight, which is with these skills. Obviously you'd want a defense skill or something on there as well, but these skills are the way to get your damage output. And you want Sparkling Gift or Ember Glow. Both of those will draw in enemies, and I've never seen lag like that. Yes, so they'll draw in enemies around a location, and then you can use Cleave and stuff to take them out. So we'll give an example of this. If I just hit this over here, they're going to come in. Oh no, okay, they're too far away, but it does hit a large area. And if we hit this now, they will get drawn in, and then we can use Sever and Cleave to I used the wrong skill there, but there we go. Sever and Cleave to wipe out all the enemies. That's what you can do to get rid of all the small enemies and stuff. And it's really great if you're focusing on a boss and then you just draw in those enemies like that. I can be attacking the boss, and it's not great because those are just those are the normal what do you call them, suicide enemies. But the other enemies, you can draw them in, and then you can wipe them out with a cleave or yeah, anything like that. So Sunder works like Maim, except that it's going to be the over effect, and the hitbox on it is slightly odd. It goes in front of you, so as you can see there, it hit those enemies on this side, but not on the left side. You really need to have them all in front, and you can do that with something like Sparking Gift, and then if you just like take a second to step back, turn around, and then use Sunder on them, that will definitely hit them. Yes. This boss is actually massively in the way. It's kind of annoying for testing night stuff. You can't see properly. But yeah, the damage output's pretty nice, and Sunder is definitely the one with huge damage output. That initial hit is massive. Where is it? Sunder again. Yep. Anyway, that's those two skills, and I was going to call them skill runes. I'm so used to doing skill rune previews. Anyway, those are those two skills for the Berserker. I hope you enjoyed that bit, and now we're going to go into the Royal Guard. So unfortunately, the Royal Guard ones are quite a lot worse. These are just the first two skills. I assume that there's going to be quite a few more, and they may all sort of come together better. But these two skills, I think, do less for the Knight class than the other two. So we've got Reflect and Royal Blade. The way these two work, well, the first one, it's 100% damage reduction just for 1 second, and anything that attacks you during that time takes a certain amount of damage back. So it'd be 250%. That's 2.5 what you do with a normal basic attack. Now in PvE, enemies don't attack you that fast, so you'd be kind of lucky if you get one reflection onto them, and trying to time that defense buff to survive something is kind of tricky because it's only for 1 second. So it's not really a PvE skill, but in PvP it stands out as a way to take down archers. So spikes is a brilliant one for taking down knights, because every hit they do on you, if you have spikes at 99 out of 99, they take 4 times the basic attack damage in retaliation to every attack they do on you. And it's a constant buff, so that's amazing there. But for archers, they attack from range, so they're not going to be reflected that way. However, archers attack with lots of basic attacks, so they're going to hit you lots of times over the course of 1 second. So if you time a reflect just for when they're going to be attacking you lots, then what you can do is, well, you'll retaliate loads of damage onto them as well as not taking much. And I don't know how good this will be in practice, but that's the use I see for it, and I think it could have some use there. The cooldown is 10 seconds, which means as a defense skill you can't really use it that much. Even with a cooldown potion, it's not going to be something you can have on that much. You probably want to spam it in PvE, or yeah. But anyway, so in PvP, I would put it on when you're facing a tough archer. Probably switch it into your hotkey just before you then approach them, and then try and time it so they do a load of damage to themselves while you don't take any damage there. Royal Blade, this one is pathetic. I kind of want it to be buffed in some way because it's no good. So for 5 seconds, so it's a short duration, your basic attacks have a 25% chance of dealing a bit of damage and healing you. The damage is 15%, which is pathetic. If you try and work out how much that damage that is in total, like how much it's going to do over the 5 seconds, it's rubbish. It's not really any kind of damage buff, damage output buff here. And then the heal effect is only 5%, which isn't really enough to help you survive. And yeah, with the cooldown and mana cost, it's just no good. If you compare it to what's it called? Sorry, the Inquisitor skill rune. This is a similar buff, which it goes for 10 seconds and has a longer cooldown, but yeah, 10 seconds duration, which is quite nice. Increases your attack rate, so it happens more frequently, and every few hits you'll do a bit of damage, which isn't much again, but you'll heal yourself for 11%. Oh wait, no, sorry. Bit of damage, which isn't that much, and you'll heal yourself for 8%, a little over 8%. Yeah, that's just straight up better in my mind. I mean, the duration just means it's going to be a lot better, and it does a better damage output buff because of the haste. Yeah, that's just like Royal Blade, but better. So these two skills, I'm still going to show them, of course, and you'll see here there's a slight animation before you do this, and my attack speed's too high. It's not showing it properly. Reflect as well. There's a slight animation. I'll just see actually if does that delay. Yeah, it does. So it only goes for 1 second, and there's an animation to it. Yeah, it's not. Neither of them are that good. Actually, look. Okay, there's one little factor about these. They look nice. You can get both your things glowing golden. But anyway, I'm going to show them in combat now, and we'll see how they actually do. I'm going to show Inquisitor as well, so we can compare the healing of the two. And yeah, I'll just have some defense buffs on as well. So first up, we'll do the Reflect. So I'll time it for those. Nope, didn't time it right. Okay. That's probably what you'll find as you try and use this. And so I'm going to let them hurt me. I'm going to tank up. Yeah, just let them hit me as much as they like. And okay, now we're going to do Royal Blades. Oh, okay, no. Took slightly too much damage. I'm going to try and time this to start attacking and seeing how well I can do. Okay, tank. Okay, here we go. Royal Blades. Let's watch my health. Does my health? Well, it's sustaining me, but not excellent. And yeah, if we now use Inquisitor, I'm getting attacked by more enemies as well. Inquisitor, yeah, it's hard to say. Neither one of them are like that overpowered. You have to use defensive buffs, and only then it will kind of help you, help sustain you a bit. But if you use both, maybe then you've got enough healing. But that's using two skills just to kind of put a healing effect on you. Yeah, I'll just spam all my skills now and see how that does. Okay, looks like I can tank, just about, but it's getting tricky. Yep. I hope this is enough of an example to show they're not quite strong enough to actually help you out. That's my opinion anyway. There's some great combinations for defense and like heal over time effects for Knight, but these don't fit with them, and they're not strong enough to actually make a huge difference. So yeah, I'm not being able to tank. I'm losing slowly. It's letting me tank a bit longer, but they're not quite strong enough. So that's my opinion, and I hope Skurins and stuff will make them stronger. Definitely Royal Blades needs a proper purpose to it. It's just like a weaker Inquisitor. And yes. So those are the skills. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching.